Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the OCVarsity Gridiron Show, Week 8 edition. Steve, this is one of the biggest weeks of regular season. The stretch drive is upon us. You know, these are the big league games are really, coming fast and furious. A lot of big games this week. We've had some big ones, and they're going to keep getting bigger and bigger as we go here. But this is an exciting time. You pretty psyched up for this stretch drive?
Oh, yeah, gosh, we've had some leagues already underway, but now we've got a couple very interesting leagues coming up. The Crestview League, which looks pretty gosh darn balanced, and the Pacific Hills League looks very balanced as well. So some really good league games this week.
Here's one thing both those leagues have, and they'll be featured here on the Gridiron Show. Both those leagues have composite league records. Composite records and non-league entering this week of, I think it's 26-2.
Correct.
I mean, wow, those guys have dominated their non-league foes. Now, these games are so significant where, there's only to be 2 automatic playoff berths in those leagues. And then if you're not in the top 2, then your fate relies on an at-large bid, which there will be at-large bids. The Southern section says in their new playoff format, but to get top 2, Friar, you pretty much have to go, go 3-0 or you go 2-1. You got to win.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to play really well in these next 3 weeks to finish in top 2 in a 14 league. There's only 3 non-league games. There's only 3 games.
Yeah. So it's pedal to the metal time for all those guys. You got to win these games. Don't leave it up to the advisory committee of the Southern Section group to, find a spot for you in whatever division they're going to place you in. As we've talked about a lot and written about a lot, Dan, is that nobody knows what division they're in yet. Well, you can kind of guess that Modern Day is going to be Division I and Servite's going to be Division I, et cetera. But other than that, it's kind of like, not sure like if somebody's going to be Division 3 or 4 or 5 or what. And sometimes if they, going into a game, you think, that's a Division 4 team, then they win, you go up. I think they're Division 3 or something like that. So we really don't know. And you also don't know, will there be at-large berths available in all these divisions? But I think what they're going to do when they seed them 1 through 16, they're just going to take the best teams and then place them in there. I mean, if they know a 4th place team from League A is better than a 1st place team from League B, that 4th place team is going to get in there. And that's going to have to do with this algorithm that is corrected by our good friends, Eric, Maddie, et cetera, at calpreps.com. So it's complicated. It's going to be interesting. There's going to be people who aren't going to be happy, but that's no different than every other year. There's always somebody who thinks they should have got in, or they don't really like the, going on the road to play out in Hesperia or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see how this thing rolls out in a couple of weeks.
Before we get to that, I mean, it is interesting. There's so many 4-team leagues now. I mean, you and I started back in the day here with high school sports. There weren't a lot of in Orange County. There weren't a lot of 4-team leagues. Now, Crestview, you mentioned North Hills, Seaview League. There's a bunch of leagues.
South Coast,
that are playing.
Pacific Hills, Pacific Valley, Pacific Standard Time. Is that a division? Pacific Standard Time? I don't know. Pac 4. These,
there's a lot of good games, out there. But we got 6 good games that we're gonna.
Big 4, Pac 4, 4 score.
Yeah, we got 4. We have 6 big games. 6 big games to offer our predictions this week.
Usually we go 5, don't we, Dan?
I know it's a big week. We're going to 6.
Oh, so we have to go 6. Okay, well, let's go. It is Taco Tuesday. We got tacos on the line. Let's go.
Yes, and I am down 3 games in the race against Friar for the tacos, and this could be the game of the week. I'll be interested in what your opinion on it is. How about Yorba Linda at Foothill in the Crestview League opener? Both teams 7-0, and Yorba Linda, of course, ranked 10th in Orange County. Look great this year. Foothill maybe flying under the radar. They're 11th in the county. They're at home. This game's going to be at Tustin on Friday. Who do you got in this one, Coach Pryor?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think the 2 defenses on this team are really good. I saw Foothill play Cypress, and I've seen Yorba Linda as well, and their defenses both times were really good. I'm going to go with Yorba Linda in this one. And I know, and I think I've been underplaying Foothill quite a bit. I saw them get after Dylan Eldridge and Cypress really good when they beat Cypress in the first game I saw this season. But I really like, Yorba Linda's really good too. Ryan Beal's sort of an under the radar sort of quarterback. Really steady guy. Doesn't make mistakes out there. And Wyatt Moser had a great week for them last week in their win over Canyon. He had 9 tackles, two of the team's 6 sacks. So I think Yorba Linda in a really tight defensive battle.
All right. Yorba Linda is the only team I have not seen in the top 10, and I'm excited to see this game on Friday. I am picking the Knights. I think the return of their quarterback Brody Jones, who was back last week, though I think the backup did a very outstanding job as well,
yes,
and is very capable. And but I'm going to go with Foothill. I think they can win it a few different ways. I like multiple playmakers at wide receiver, and I think it's going to be an outstanding game. I got Foothill winning this game and then moving into the top 10. Mr. Fryer.
Yeah.
How about another?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that happening. You mentioned those playmakers, Austin Over and Brady Schrank. Those guys are fast. Yeah, I can see Foothill winning this game, but I'm siding with Yorba Linda in a really close one.
Yes, I think it's gonna be a great game. It'll be game of the week. How about another 2 top 10 teams in Orange County? Corona Del Mar against Edison on Friday. This game's going to be at Huntington Beach High School. Corona Del Mar 9th in the county, Edison 7th. Both teams have lost to Los Al. This is, I think, a game for second place in the Sunset League. Then the loser will be third place. It'll be automatic bids. They might even be in the same playoff divisions because both these teams are outstanding. They got good power rankings. Who do you got in this one, Fryer?
I'm going with the Edison Chargers in this one. They played Los Al better than Corona Del Mar did in terms of margin. Really like Edison's team all around, man. I tell you what, with Parker Awad at quarterback's doing really well. Nico Brown just makes great catches all the time. Really good defense, Austin Gerbig, etc. Really good on the defensive side of things. So I think they're going to do a good job. Corona Del Mar's quite a fine team too. David Razor at quarterback, etc. Really good two-way guy over there at CDM. Charlie Mannon, linebacker, tight end. Guy just plays all out every play. He's just so fun to watch. His name gets called a lot in those games, but got to go with the Edison Chargers to win this one. And you know what? I was at this game last year. 5 OTs. I was just going to say that. Oh my goodness, what a great game! If it goes 5 OTs, I'm not expecting it, but gosh, I'll take it. It was fun.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you have Edison in 5 overtimes?
No, sir. I got Edison in regulation. I got deadline, baby.
All right. I also got the Chargers. I think they left a lot on the table last week against Los Al. A lot of turnovers. They didn't convert on the 3 chances from the 1-yard line on a key, goal line opportunity from the 1 of Los Al to close out the first half, and give up a couple big plays. And then they had a spirited comeback, which is always good. The way you finish the games is maybe how you'll start the game. But this is going to be tough because I think Corona Del Mar is going to look at the physicality, that Los Al brought to Edison last week, and Corona Del Mar can play physical. They have a lot of running backs.
Sure.
And you mentioned the linebacker group is really good, and that'll be a good matchup. We'll see if I think Corona Del Mar defense might be a little bit better on Troy Fletcher than maybe Los Al did. Troy Fletcher coming off 200 yards. But we're going to see how Edison, if they get a little bit more pressure on the quarterback, something they couldn't do against Malachi Nelson last week. And I think they need to get Nico Brown going. Maybe even Nico Brown a little bit in the backfield. Maybe a little option with Nico Brown. Maybe a reverse to Nico Brown if they need to really run the ball and take some pressure off Troy Fletcher. He needs to get a little bit more touches in open space. And those Edison receivers are really very athletic. They all can make incredible one-handed catches.
Yep.
Speaking of great athletes and another great matchup, what a week it is for our week 8 here. Cypress, in the Empire League, 2-0, ranked 14th in Orange County, taking on Pacifica, 6-1, hanging tough, 1-1, and still in title contention in the Empire League, which saw a 3-way tie last year in the spring. If Pacifica pulls this one off, we're looking at potentially another 3-way tie in the always competitive Empire League. Who do you got in this one?
I'm going to go with Cypress on this one. Pacifica had a pretty good week last week, right? Getting that win. It was tight, 45-42, probably a lot closer than people thought, but they had to put a new quarterback in, Noah Salas, who threw for a bunch of touchdowns. But, I think it was really smart move for Cypress to put their best athlete, Matt Morell, at quarterback. We know he's got great arm mechanics. He's a heck of an outfielder for this really good Cypress baseball program. But I'm going to go with the Centurion Cypress to win this one. We've got Tustin beat Pacifica. Tustin lost to Cypress. You do that, easy peasy. Cypress should win this game over Pacifica.
Yeah. I'm also picking Cypress. But the good news for Pacifica fans is that Darius Cowens, who didn't play last week, pretty much for precautionary reasons, he got a little banged up in that Tustin game. He's going to be back, Coach Vinny Lopez says. So that's big. And there's a lot of athletes and a lot of speed out there for Pacifica. I think right. Cypress has got that underdog mentality where they lost Dylan Eldridge. It looked gloom and doom, and here they are storming back. I think they're going to be pretty rightful and pretty fired up to close the deal. But they're going to have to shore up a little bit on their defense. They were starting to come a little unraveled at the end of their game against Tustin, where Toby Schmidt, Dominic Flores were starting to pick them apart. Now that is the red flag, because that's what Cypress can do. I mean, that's what Pacifica can do. They're going to have to watch that very carefully. They don't want to get in a shootout. They need to control the clock a little bit. And Tomas Ramirez needs to run the ball a little bit for underrated player for Cypress. They'll be stretched. Pacifica. That's a good game. All right.
Yes, sir.
The games keep going. We both agree here on these last two. How about this one? Maybe we disagree on this one. Irvine, 7-0, best start since the year 2000 when they went 14-0 under the legendary Terry Hennigan, taking on Dana Hills, 6-1, Bo Kelly. This game is fantastic out of the Pacific Hills League. This is an opener. Hey, by the way, Irvine has had 4 straight shutouts. They've only allowed 30 points in the for the whole season. And here comes in that they got to go down to South County, take on Bo Kelly, senior quarterback, who's already thrown for more than 2,000 yards. Wow, this is a tough one, Fryer. Who do you got in this one?
I like Irvine. And by the way, during that 4-game shutout stretch, they've outscored the teams 133-0. But Dana Hill's a little different animal. I don't see them shutting out Bo Kelly. In fact, I've got Dana Hills winning this game. I think their passing attack is good. I think the way the high school football is played now, with a lot of things sort of equal, if you can throw the football, that helps you play comeback football if you need it. And I really like the Dana Hills football team. What Kelly threw for 6 touchdowns last week against Northwood. Yes. He's really good. And so I'm going to go with the Dolphins in this one.
Okay, you got Dana. You got Dana.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This was a game I went back and forth on because I'm not completely sold on how prepared Irvine is for this passing team. So I know Irvine did play early in their opener. It was an opener, but they did face a pretty good passing attack in Canyon.
Yeah.
I think it's the winning combination is for my pick is Irvine because of Cameron Goods is going to ground and pound and try to keep Bo Kelly off the field. And then that Irvine defense, which has been so spectacular, is going to make enough stops. They're not going to shut down Bo Kelly, but I think they're going to make enough stops to get the win. I think Tate Zimmerman, who knows how he'll help out. Linebacker, I don't know if they're going to have to put him at defensive back. If he's going to have to go to rush, what he's going to have to do. they'll probably do something, even especially with the kicking game. Both these teams have pretty good kickers, actually. It's going to be a fantastic game, and it's just the opener in this league. Next week, it's Irvine-Portola. So very interesting. We're going to see how suddenly hot Laguna Hills does. They're 6-1 against Portola at home for the Hawks on Friday. Very interesting league.
It's a great league. I mean, I love that. You know, when they put together leagues, sometimes they do it right. They got that one right.
Yes, and I don't think they should. And then my message to District Athletic Director Mark Cunningham is leave that league alone. I think they're fine for next year. You got your good four, your top four. You got your bottom four in the Pacific Valley. So I would like to see these teams play more non-league games out of their conference. It has been a very huge mismatch to have the top play the bottom in this conference. It's been very lopsided scores. I'd love to see some of these teams get out and play a little bit more. Something like I think Dana got to play a really good game against Trabuco Hills. That was a great game.
Yep.
That's going to help.
That helps you.
Going to help Dana.
Yeah.
All right, 2 more to go.
But Irvine played Troy and beat Troy.
Yeah.
21-17. That's a good win for Irvine. So that one kind of gets your attention too, because where's Troy at in the Freeway League? They're the 3rd best team at least, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Could be. Maybe second. Maybe I think they play Sunny Hills this week.
Yeah. That's right.
That would be that'd be quite an upset if Troy were to get Sunny Hills. Another great game.
And they might. But as Peter Griffin says, I digest. Go ahead, Dan. Take it.
All right. 2 more to go in this exciting week 8. How about this one? South Coast League opener, San Juan Hills, ranked 15th in the county, seems to have figured it out. It's like La Habra, right? They started 0-5. They've won impressively the last 2 weeks. Got their new freshman quarterback. Now they're taking on San Clemente, defending South Coast League champs, by the way. 12th in the county. They seem like they figured it out. I saw them get blanked or pretty much really handled. Yeah, I think it was 42-0 loss to Edison. And they've come back and had 2 nice wins, including close win against Loyola. Triton's coming off the bye. Triton's at home, where they're very tough.
Yes.
Who are you picking in this one?
From what I saw last week in their 66-13 win over Capistrano Valley, I got to go with San Juan Hills. Like you say, they seem to figure it out. And when I saw that team play last week, I was thinking, how did this team start 0-5? But sometimes you figure things out. They've got a good freshman quarterback and Michael Butter Tollefson. I go, why do they call him Butter? And they go, they just call him Butter, man. Okay, cool. I'm good. So I really like him. He was getting the ball to Braden Pegan, the big, UCLA commit. The defense was really solid for them as well. John Gaines running the ball super well for them as well. So I like San Juan Hills to take this one. San Clemente, though, how they play at home, how they play in big game situations. Yes. Right? But I'm still going with San Juan Hills.
Absolutely. And I'm also picking San Juan. They were my sleeper pick. All at the beginning of the year, I had them getting second in the league to Mission Viejo. And at times it certainly didn't look good when they lost some close games. They played a tough schedule. So definitely has San Clemente. So much respect to San Clemente. They're playing teams in San Diego, LA teams, Inland Empire teams. Had a great schedule, but I think San Juan Hills has figured out, got a little bit more firepower on offense. That's gonna be a fantastic game. And then close it out for our week 8. We got a Seaview League clash. El Toro, 21 in the county, 6-1, taking on Capo Valley, defending champions in the Seaview League at home, 4-3, and really kind of spilling some oil on defense the last 2 of the last 3 games because they've had a bye in there, but giving up 66 points to San Juan Hills and 67 points to Orange. Yes, those are outstanding teams. Not sure what's going on with the Capo defense. That's puts up all kinds of flags for me as a guy that looks at defense as such a key thing. And then the good news for El Toro is that their quarterback Miller, who was a little banged up against San Juan Hills, is back for the Chargers coming off the bye. He's good to go. What do you got in this one?
I've kind of gone back and forth on this one, but if you look at comparative scores, San Juan Hills against these two teams, San Juan Hills scored 42 points against El Toro, and they scored 66 against Capistrano Valley. If Miller's healthy and he can go, I like El Toro in this game. I really like what Coach Reynoso's done over there. Really got that team going. Trey Kukuk of Capistrano Valley is tough as it gets, man. That guy gets, runs really well, gets hit like heck, keeps going. But I got to go with El Toro. Could be a really super high scoring game, right, Dan? But I'm going with the Chargers of El Toro. Your alma mater.
Hey, this is true. I also got the Chargers as well. I think Chargers of El Toro beating Cougars.
Yep.
Oh, Homer, man. Homer. Okay. Here's my reason is
what do you think I said? Don't answer that.
Okay. But I think El Toro's got some of the defensive backs, including Vavonia, who you saw play pretty well against Tesoro. Both these teams have some two-way guys going in the secondary. El Toro does that a little bit with some of their receivers. I think they have maybe a little bit more on defense, and then and they got that running game going as well a little bit. They have maybe a little bit more firepower on offense. Believe it or not, even though Capo is really good as well, so it could be a high-scoring game. But I think definitely El Toro might have the better defense, so that's why I'm going to go with the Chargers. So, it's going to be a great Seaview League too, because you got Tribuco Hills, which is definitely on the rise, breaking into the rising after that Tesoro win. So both these teams, whoever wins out of this, is going to be thinking about Tribuco, an improved Elisa Nagel team. That's the other opener in this league. So many good games this week, Friar.
It's insane. This is such a great game. And we don't have we didn't even mention any Trinity League stuff, which I think is a relief to much of our audience.
Well, perhaps it could be, but we are got, week 9 and 10, the Trinity are going to be amazing, because looming next week, I think we'll be talking about this game. How about number 1 and number 2 in Orange County hooking up on Saturday?
Let me see who's number 1 and number 2. Let me look at my rankings here. Oh, Mater Servite. Wow.
Mater Servite, top 8 in the country by Max Preps, first place on the line. And then, week 10, you got Servite and Bosco hooking up. Bosco, that could be a huge game as well. And then you got Orange Lutheran playing week 10 against Santa Margarita. That has big implications for who might be going into Division One. So Trinity League's going to have a way of working its way back on the Gridiron Show.
I'm with you. But next week is big. But this week is, just looking all up and down. I gave myself a little on my sheet. Gave myself like that much to write down the games of the week. I ran out of space fast. It's going to be a heck of a week. I mean, even Garden Grove League's got a couple cool games. Santiago against Los Amigos, where I'm going to be Thursday.
Yes.
Los is pretty good. Santiago is really good. Santiago Rancho coming up in a couple. Man.
Yes. Los Amigos, Santiago, both 2-0 in the Garden Grove League. Yeah. Yep. How about the Pac-4 League, where you have, I think it's Laguna Beach at Westminster this week. That's a big game. The Big Four, you got Catella and Garden Grove hooking up. Maybe that's for the league title.
Yes. I'm told that this quarterback at Laguna Beach, Will Bingham, I'm told this guy throws it as good as anybody. One of us has got to go see that boy play.
Having a good year.
Yeah.
They're only lost.
And then looking at the Orange Coast League, the way it should end up in a couple of weeks, and we're going too long here, I know, but Orange Santa Ana in a couple of weeks. I mean, that's going to be a war. Too much good stuff, dude.
No, there's no such thing as too much good stuff. This is the first, a full season unfolding to us after the pandemic. This is what.
That's why we're all excited, man.
This is what Orange County.
Don't I have hair like the Toomless guy in the Arco commercials too? Don't I kind of?
This is what OC football does. All these leagues, all these competitive league races in schools, and great coaching and great players. This is what it does.
Great student sections, Manny Alvarez.
Yep. So many good stuff. So Fryer, good job on your predictions. Good luck to you. And
Maybe.
so
I
thanks
know I'm
for
going to get
everybody.
that foot. I think I think I'm going to kill myself from this Foothill Yorba Linda one guy.
Keep it on. You
I
got to
think
keep it on there.
I think I know.
No
I'm
changing.
I'm not gonna flip flop this time like I did before. But yeah, I think I think Foothill's a great pick in this, but I'm sticking with Yorba Linda. I ain't gonna go against those rankings. Telling you.
That's right.